What is up, YouTube? Coach James here. I'm very excited to be sharing another video. On this channel, I basically share some tips, tools, tricks that I used and have used as a entry-level engineer. And I know it's very important when you're first starting out to kind of understand how to use AutoCAD Civil 3D. And today I'm going to be going over how to use the fillet command and why it's so important. So hopefully this is helpful for you, and hopefully I'll walk you through step by step on how to use the command. All right, so you may be asking, what is the fillet command, right? And the fillet command it basically means to round the edges of a particular corner. So I just want to show you what you're seeing now is just a typical roadway. You see the outside edge and the center line just coming across. So here we see it just takes a sharp corner or a sharp turn. And most of the time roads are not, shaped like that. All right. Most of the time you have roads that come across and they loop around in a curved motion. And that curvature is just a fillet. How it arcs there. So I want to show you how to use the command and how to get things to fillet the way you want them to. So to use the command, you want to start out by typing fillet, or F. It's a shortcut in the command toolbar at the bottom. All right. So then it asks you to select your first object, right? So what objects do you want to curve? What corner pieces do you want to curve? And how much do you want them to curve by? So very important when you're first starting out to go ahead and set your radius. So some roads will have a certain radius that they want the curve to be. But for this particular example, we're going to set our radius. So you type R for radius. And we're going to set it at 100 in this particular instance. So you want to type in 100 and press enter. And now you select your first object, which what they mean by objects is the lines intersecting. So what lines do you want that are intersecting to have some curvature to them? So I'm going to select my first object, which is this object, and then I'm going to select this object second. So you see it arced out there and created that nice fillet. Now let's say I want to change that. So I want it to be 50. Well, I'll just go back in there, type in fillet, go to my radius, adjust it to 50, and we're going to see how it changes. So you select your first object. My first object is just going to be this straight line here. Then my second object is going to be the line that intersects. And you'll know you're doing it right because you'll start to see it, begin that arcing motion. So I'll click it and see that is a 50-foot radius and this is a 100-foot radius. And why this is so important, as I might have mentioned before, is that you could have a long road and another road coming into it, and most of the time they'll have a minimum radius or a maximum radius, and it's normally like 120-ish. So if you're not able to meet those requirements, your road or the city or the state or whoever is reviewing your plans is going to come back and say, this doesn't work, and you're going to have to fix something. So, and you also, they don't have to be intersecting. The lines don't have to be intersecting. As you see, this line is far away from this line, but if I want to fillet them, it will still allow me to connect them and have that arc like it needs to be. So we're going to type in fillet, and I'm just going to do 120 because I'm just going to say that's my requirements. Select my first object, select my second object, and you can see it's a very small one, just based on the scale on how I drew it. So for this purpose, I'll just undo that, and I'm going to do a 400 radius just so you can see. So I'll type in fillet again, my radius, do 400 instead of, oh, I had it set at 50, sorry. But yeah, we'll just do 400 for this example, and let's see if it works for us. Nice. So connects very nice, and now I'll be able to, turn along that road, pretending this is my center line. I feel like I'm missing something. Oh, you can also do fillets that are zero, as a zero radius, and that just creates that perfect intersection point. No arcs involved. When you have a zero radius, right, you're not. That just means you're not moving. You're not creating any type of arc or circle. So we're going to try that here. Going to fillet. We're going to change our radius to 0, right? And now we should just see an intersecting point. We should not see any curves. We'll do that, and it does that very nice. So if you just want to connect things very quickly, it's probably the easiest way to do it. As you know, it just basically extends out my lines. Now the bad thing about this is when you do fillet things, they do tend to join. The objects begin to join, so now it's a whole line, and you may want to separate lines or manipulate those lines. So you can always break those or explode them back into 2 pieces. So now they're 2 pieces that you can kind of work with. And once you explode them, they do change them back to lines, so then you have to get them back into polylines. That's a whole nother story. Let me see. Just checking my notes to make sure that I'm not missing anything. Yeah, I think that's all for this video. Hopefully this was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out to my social media platforms and to connect with me. I hope that you become a great civil engineer, a great just engineer using AutoCAD Civil 3D, and I hope that you are learning things each and every day. So I will see you guys in the next video, and